Hello, guys, and welcome to Oddspedia World Cup first match day. We are going to analyze Group C and Group D, and we have Alain and 𝐜𝐭𝐚𝐲. Hello, guys. Welcome.
Hello, Edu, Alain.
Hello, guys.
Big guns. We are going to analyze two of the main candidates to win the World Cup, Argentina and France. That's why we have, of course, Leo and Alain. So, guys, comment the video with us, of course. And don't forget, if you enjoy, press the like and subscribe. These games are going to take place on Tuesday, 22nd of November. So let's start, of course, with one of the main candidates to win the World Cup. For many people, Leo, the main candidate to win the World Cup, actually, Argentina, Saudi Arabia. I listened to the Minister of Finance in Argentina saying yesterday that they can forget about inflation, and the important thing is Argentina lifting the trophy, and I guess they arrive better than ever after winning the Copa America with this streak of 35 unbeaten games. And having as the first rival Saudi Arabia, I think is the perfect way to boost the morale and get a good result.
Yes, and you know, he said that, come on, guys, 1 month of fighting inflation is not going to make a difference, but winning the World Cup, yes. And he's saying this in a country with this going to finish the year with almost 95% of inflation. But going back to football, yes, to be honest, Edu, Alain, after the finalissima in Wembley against Italy, you remember this summer, Scaloni said that he was scared that everything was going too well. And to be honest, that is kind of my feeling too, you know. The Albiceleste is 35 games without losing, is playing well. There is a chemistry like we haven't seen so often between the players. We won a title after 28 years and against Brazil and in the Maracanã. Life never been so good for us, you know, so and that is profoundly scary, at least for people from a generation. We haven't seen them like winning a World Cup, and there is something strange in with this team. I don't know if you agree, Edu and Alain, you can give me your view. Like, if you take player by player, apart from Messi, okay, let's take Messi aside, there is not even maybe one who will be in the starting 11 of Brazil or France. I can't see Alain thinking, oh, I wish I had Nahuel Molina instead of Koundé or Pavard. You know, he won't be trying to convince the Shams that Lautaro Martinez was born in Paris and he should be playing ahead of Mbappe. But, you know, in a World Cup, the best team or the team with the best players is not usually the one who's going to win it. You know, you need actually a squad, you need a team. And in that regard, I really trust Argentina. And yes, I really believe Argentina is one of the candidates. But the most important thing for us and the mood in Argentina is like, we are finally competitive again. Because you remember how was 2018, the disaster that went, how was Russia and Sampaoli. And we needed to rebuild a team from scratch because the older generation of Mascherano, Biglia, Lavezzi, and Romero, Sergio Romero, the goalkeeper, and so on, they all left. And actually 19 out of the 26 players who are already in Qatar are going to play their first World Cup. So that's a massive change.
So you think about Leo, this squad is worse than the one who arrived to the final in Brazil?
It's quite similar, I would say, when you look at the player by player. Actually, Messi said that even yesterday, that he believes or he has this feeling that the squad is very similar to 2014. But my main point is like, when you took player by player, yes, we are not better than Brazil. We are not better than France. But can we compete with them and can we win it on a date or a night? Absolutely. I think it's 50-50 when it comes to the big guns in this World Cup. And then, yes, there is, I would say, yes, it's maybe it's one step behind the 2014, but this one can go all the way as well. Absolutely can go all the way. And Scaloni has been in his post for 4 years, guys. And without critics, and with critics, actually. Remember at the beginning, I remember Edu, the Copa America 2019, it wasn't easy for him. And he was one penalty away to being sacked in the second fixture of the group stage in 2019. if Armani does not stop a penalty against Paraguay, we are not talking about this team right now, I believe. And he's been 4 years in charge, which is not common in Argentina. The last time we have a manager 4 years in charge, a full term, that was Bielsa between 1998 and 2002. Then we had Peckerman 2 years. Then we had Sabella 2 years, Maradona 2 years, Batista, Bausa, Sampaoli, and now finally someone who's taking the team for 4 years. And you can see the rewards. Messi is having an amazing season. Lautaro Martinez is in form. Christian Romero, if he's fit, is one of the best center backs in the World Cup, I believe. So we shouldn't have any problems against Saudi Arabia. We shouldn't at all. I know they have Hervé Renard. You know, he's very well known in Africa. He won the African Cup of Nations with Zambia, Ivory Coast. He took Morocco to the World Cup in Russia. He's building a team, a young team, very energetic team. Actually, Saudi Arabia won the Asian Cup under 23 this summer. And their goal scorer is 21 years old, 181 meters, a tall guy. I'm referring to 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲. So they have a young squad, but Argentina shouldn't have any problems. And I believe you will agree with that. And the bookies are thinking that also.
Do you agree, Alain, also what Leo is saying, that perhaps the quality of the team is not as high as France or Brazil, but Argentina can play as a team, and this is also very important in these kind of tournaments?
Yes, it's a tournament. It's a tournament, and in 1 month, frequently is not the team with the best individual player won the World Cup in the history. Now is important to build a team, and I think Argentina as a team. You saw the peaks when they go to the holidays together, when when they score. You saw a special feeling, a special energy. And every player knows what he must to do in the field. Maybe he's not so strong in the defensive phase like 2014, but in the middle, the team has a big talent. He's a big talent, and the ball the ball run fast, really fast. They have a lot of option to attack the opposite, and every player can score. And that one is a very good thing. It's not Messi dependent, this team. And that one has all input really positive for Argentina. In change, Arabia Saudi, Renard, we know really well him. His idea of football is really defensive. In the last 9 games, the last 16 games, only in one time they conceded 2 goals. It was in Japan. Now, the test is when you go to the World Cup, not only in the Asian game. I think there will have some problem. It's true they have some interesting player, and they have some interesting experience player, especially in the middle. They play with a 4-2-3-1, but in defensive phase they defend with 9 players. It will be important for Argentina score soon in the game to unlock the game and force Arabia Saudi to happen a little more, because if they don't score quickly, I think it can be difficult. After you will start to be nervous, and we know that synopsis of the game. But in the last 9 games, I think Argentina scored in the first half. The team started really well the game, and for that game, I choose Argentina score over 2.5 goals.
All right, first tip, we have Argentina to score over 2.5 goals. Odds are 1.9. Of course, Argentina to win, only 1.2. Leo, where did you find the value? Which odds can you give us? I also want to say that some important players are not only talking about Messi. No, we have to see the level of players like Di Maria or De Paul, that they are very inconsistent in this season with their teams.
Yes, but you know, even with De Paul, who's not having a good season with Atletico Madrid, I can absolutely agree with that. When they put the Albicelestes t-shirt, everything changes, you know, and the level they are showing, especially De Paul, he's like a kind of a second captain. I would say he's he's a leader within that group, something that he's not in Atletico Madrid. I really wish and I really hope Di Maria can stay fit for the full World Cup. You know, there's always something with him when it comes to a Copa America or a World Cup in terms of like injuries. Hopefully he can stay fit. I really wish that, because he really deserves that. And I agree with Alain that Arabia Saudita with Renard is a defensive-minded manager. As he said, you know, they only allowed or they kept 6 clean sheets in the last 10 qualifying games. But it's been a bit of a mixed qualifying games, because I remember at the beginning they dropped points, you know, against Yemen, Palestine. They were like 5 minutes away from losing against Uzbekistan. So this Saudi Arabia, even though they managed to build a strong defense, I still believe Argentina shouldn't have problems to beat them. And so I will go for Argentina Asian handicap -1 for the first half, which has odds of 2.42. As Alain said, we've always been scoring first in every single game with Scaloni from the Copa America till today. So again, Asian handicap -1 for the first half, 2.42. And I believe this is going to be a game with goals. And I will go with goals over 3 with odds of 2.14, Edu. And
Okay, very important for Argentina, as Leo and Alain are saying, to score quickly so they are not nervous and they can navigate in this group. They are the big favorites. Saudi Arabia, they are the huge underdogs to finish 4th in this group. And the big battle and a really interesting game is the next one. We have Mexico, Poland, a classic in the World Cups. Mexico arriving with so many doubts, more than ever, with Tata Martino on the bench. This team is not playing well. There is always a huge controversy around the Mexican team, but they always manage to qualify to the last 16 round, where they always lose, actually. But to do that, they have to get a good result against Poland with some stars, Alain, like, of course, Lewandowski, but Milik is also in good form. We have 𝐜𝐭𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵. And also for Poland, there is always this big question mark, Alain, that they don't deliver in the big tournaments.
Yes, Poland is a mystery. It's a mystery because when we take the player in individual analysis, they have a lot of players play in the biggest team in Europe, but after, when they go to Euro, when they go to World Cup, we miss something. We miss something, especially when they must elaborate the game. Now they're dependent about Lewandowski, but this year I think Zelensky arrived in a very, very good level. He must to show to the people he can make the difference in a World Cup event or in a Euro event. And I think the moment is he has the maturity to show that. In defense, is a team really slowly, really physical, but slowly. That have 𝐾𝐞𝐿 from Spezia is unbelievable. The level he's playing in Serie A. They have a very good goalkeeper in change. Mexico. I think Mexico have a lot of doubt. What you said. I think the doubt of Tata Martino. He doesn't know how he will to play, because we saw in the last friendship game they play with a false 9 like Alvarado. And what is the plan? What is the idea of Tata Martino? And you know, in Mexico, the pressure are really, really strong, and he doesn't arrive with a good relationship with the press, and that one can be a factor for the Mexican team. For that game, I saw goals. I checked the odds, and the odds are really high, and I choose over 2.5, odds 2.50, because both teams in the defensive phase, they don't convince me.
And one of the main players of Mexico, Leo, is Lozano, the teammate of 𝐜𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐵. Exactly, that apart from Raúl Jiménez, another difficult season for Raúl Jiménez, Lozano is the most important player for Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, of course, this season 𝐿𝐭𝐼 is not having maybe the minutes he would have wished for, but it's understandable at the same time because he's playing in a team which is having an amazing season, Napoli. And I understand what Alain was saying. Maybe Martino's doubt in terms of like, okay, do we gonna have to play with the number 9? Do we gonna have to play with the false 9? But that all comes down to, I believe, to two players. The most important one is Raúl Jiménez. Why I'm saying this? The last time he played in the Premier League was the 31st of August, guys. So we are talking a player who is absolutely important. I would have taken Raúl Jiménez to the World Cup even on a stretcher, but it's true that he's not playing. So we don't know his form. Then you have, and the last time he scored for Mexico, that was back in March, when Mexico won 2-0 against Salvador at home in the Azteca. And then you have Rogelio Funes Mori, the player who was born in Argentina and played for River Plate, who came back just now from knee injury. So in that regard, up front, it's normal that he's having many doubts. But I believe this one, we can see the odds. The parity is almost there, Edu, Alain. And I believe because the parity is so is there, the odds are so close and so high at the same time. I started to look at the draw with the kind eyes, to be honest. And mostly because for Poland, a draw is a good result, especially for Poland, because the second match for Poland is Saudi Arabia and Mexico is playing Argentina. So if we go by the logic and Argentina beats Mexico and Poland do the job against Saudi Arabia, Poland can arrive to the third fixture against Argentina, knowing that a draw is enough and maybe even losing could be enough, depending how much they could win against Saudi Arabia. So I would put some money on a draw in here, which has odds of 3.25, and thinking that the odds for Mexico is 282 and for Poland 296, 325 for a draw. For me, looks a little bit more attractive because of the reasons I just gave. And Poland, I agree, always when it comes to the big stage, they cannot deliver. Tata Martino was hired with one aim: please take this team to the quarterfinals. It's been 7 times in a row where they've been in the last 16 and they couldn't go through. But the same could be said about Poland. The last 3 times they've been in a group stage, they couldn't go further than that. So it's a very tight call. I will look for a draw. I'm not expecting goals or too many goals in here, guys. I will go for goals under 2.5 at 1.65.
All right, Leo is going for the under. And as you are describing, Leo, the under pays very little, 1.65. If you go for an over, like Alain is suggesting, it pays really well, 2.52. I think both Mexicans and Polish, they would be very happy if their team arrived to the last 16, actually, because it's not an easy group to negotiate with Argentina going through, we expect. And then this is the key game, Mexico-Poland, to see which team is going to be second, theoretically, in this Group C. Well, let's jump into the other group. And here we have as the first game, Denmark-Tunisia. And Denmark, Leo, is one of these teams that many people point as the dark horse of this World Cup because they played great in the Euros despite having this issue with Eriksen. Now Eriksen is back, he's playing well. And this is the kind of national team that they are a block. They are really a team. They don't have a star apart from Eriksen or perhaps the goalkeeper. But they are a team very difficult to beat. And their first game is against Tunisia, a team that is also a classic in the World Cup, but they never qualified also for the last 16 round. And the big star is the striker. I'm sure Alain knows him very well because he plays in Montpellier, 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐵.
Yes,
Leo, what do you
I
expect?
think.
Yeah. Sorry, Leo, what do you expect first?
No,
about this
to be honest,
Denmark,
I'm sorry.
Tunisia?
No, to be honest, when FIFA currently ranks Denmark 10th in the world, but for me, Edu, Alain, they could be placed even higher. We talk a lot sometimes about how nations like Uruguay, Portugal, or Croatia, in terms of their total population in comparison with others have punched above their weight. And well, Denmark, which is a country of fewer than 6 million people, we could say that too, maybe. You know, you could pick, if you want, the Danish Dynamite picking up a bronze in the 1984 European Championship before eventually winning it in 1992. But this crop of players reaching the Euros 2020 semifinals in the worst possible context, with a teammate having a cardiac arrest on their first match against Finland. They didn't deserve to lose against England in the semifinal. It's true that Denmark historically could not translate the success in the European Championship to the World Cups. No, they first qualified, or they only make it to the round of 16 in 1998. Actually, they reached the finals when they lost against Brazil 3-2. Now in the Nations League, we saw them losing twice to Croatia, but they beat France twice. In Paris, 2-1 against a full-strength France team. They won 2-0 in Copenhagen, and at the end of the day, they finished top of the group, winning 9 of their 10 games with a goal difference of plus 27. They have a healthy balance of experienced players and talent guys and young players. Kasper Schmeichel, you mentioned, but then the back four is amazing. The center backs with Simon Hayer from Milan, Andreas Christensen from Barcelona, 𝐜𝐭𝐴 𝐵𝐿𝐴, the Atalanta fullback who impressed everyone in the Euros. In the middle part, you have Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He's having an amazing season for Spurs. He's becoming a box-to-box player. Thomas Delaney, as we said, Eriksen, and maybe the only point, Alain, which we cannot see something that they are very dominant, is up front. Martin Braithwaite, Kasper Dolberg, they are not the same names or quality that they have at the back or in midfield.
Yes, it's one of the keys. One of the first question about Denmark, if who will be the goal man, and we saw that in the Euro. I think Denmark actually in the last 5 years is the European team improve more in Europe. We saw that in Nation League. You saw that in the Euro, and I think they have the young have the experience, more experience than the Euro, and that one can be make the difference. Watch Denmark is one of my favorite team because you have a lot of rhythm. Is a team can be changed the model of play. There can be play direct. There can be elaborate. There have a lot of solution. Now Tunisia is really difficult to play against. Tunisia is a really physical team with a strong defensive phase, especially in the center midfielder. There have some player can be fight and protect the defense really well, and I think Denmark depend a lot about with the space between the midfield and the defense. When they don't find this space between the line and the opposite, there can be have problem, and Tunis is a specialist to play like that. Now Denmark with the Euro, with the African Cup, we analyze both teams, and we can say it is natural to say Denmark will be win that game. But they can have some problem to unlock, to organize the block of Tunis. I choose X2 double chance and of the first half. Odds 1.72.
You also see some trouble, Leo, for Denmark to unlock the Tunisian defense?
I don't see, to be honest, they will have many problems, at least in before the game starts. In that one, I don't agree with Alain. I think they're gonna manage with that quality they have again on the flanks and in the middle to impose the game against Tunisia. It's true, Tunisia, they topped the qualifying group, and before beating Mali 1-0. So before even finishing the qualifying fixture, they were already qualified to the World Cup. I wouldn't take too much from the September friendly against Brazil. They lost 5-1, and I will read more for them that they won the Kirin Cup in Japan after beating Chile 2-0 and after beating even Japan 3-0 in that Kirin Cup. But against this Denmark, which is informed with this quality, I don't believe they can take something from this game. I believe as well that they're gonna change the system from the 4-3-3 maybe for a more conservative approach against France and against Denmark. Then against Australia, they could maybe go back to the natural 4-3-3. And the manager of Tunisia said that not to qualify to the round of 16 will be a failure. But one thing is to say it, and a completely another thing is to believe it, or to have real hopes of going through. Because when you look at the Tunisia squad, you could count 4 goalkeepers and 9 defenders. So basically 13 out of 26 players, 50% of the squad are players with defensive characteristics. So I don't see that he has many hopes of going through. But yes, my picks will be here. Denmark to win the first half, which has odds of 2.2, and also a clean sheet for Denmark here, which comes with odds of 1.80. So 𝐿𝐴 𝐸𝐻𝐿 having a good night in Qatar.
Well, I think in this group, we all expect Denmark and France to go through, unless you are a very optimistic person as the Tunisian manager, 𝐿𝐴𝐸. But let's see, because this is football, and the last game we have to analyze is precisely France, the current world champion, France playing against the Socceroos, against Australia. Alain, if we are talking about teams before as Argentina or as Denmark, I think France is the opposite. They have, in my opinion, the best squad in this World Cup, but they are not playing as a team. I have many doubts about the champs. The recent results have been very, very poor, and I'm not sure how is the atmosphere in this build-up towards the World Cup for the current champion.
But in the last 14 months from the Euro, France, Deschamps have a lot of doubts in the sense of he changed the system. He passed to the 3 center back. Now he's back with 2 center back. He has a lot of problem with the midfield, because without Kanté and without Pogba and Matuidi, because it was the key for the World Cup in the 2018 to give the freedom to the striker. Now they're meeting in Russia, and France have a lot of problem against Australia. Australia doesn't change the idea of football they have this model of defending when they don't have the ball, they feel really comfortable. We saw that against Peru. Peru have 75% of possession, but without found the space to go to the goalkeeper. Now France, we know Deschamps is probably his last tournament with the team. With the choice, I think the choice was logical to bring the player. In defense, I have some doubts, not for the game against Australia, but in biggest game, I think this defense is not the best defense in France right now. But Australia, they're must winning, yes. But I think that there will be some problem. I choose X1 first half X and end of the game winning France, odds 3.75.
Alain, can I ask you something? You know, in Russia, in the group stage, France, if I'm correct, only managed to score three goals. 1-0 against Australia, 1-0 Denmark, 1-0 Peru. You know, it looks now when you look at the squad and looking at Mbappe and Griezmann and all the names they have, you will think they will score more this time around. Do you think they're going to score more than what we have seen in Russia?
Yes, but in the FIFA game, probably. But in the field, we saw in the National League, France suffer a lot, and they play with his best player, with Mbappe, with Benzema. The problem is the creation is the midfield, and that one I think Deschamps doesn't have a lot of solution to play, and in my opinion, the player who will be playing in that position are not the best player in this role in the world, and that's why that one is a big difference respect to the World Cup in Russia. Pogba was dominant. Pogba and Kanté was dominant in Russia, and the balance about the team was in this zone. This year that they don't have that stability, that balance, and is the idea of Deschamps. Deschamps is defensive manager. He is not a manager wanna go to press high every part of the game and play in opposite half. No, Deschamps waiting. Deschamps is a defensive manager, and when you don't have the player can't give you that stability and that strengthness in front of the defense, it can be difficult for France.
And now my question is for you, Leo. Do you share also Alain's concerns about the midfield for France? And also, what do you think about this Australia? The golden generation is gone without Viduka, of course, without Cahill, but always a very defensive team. And remember that they are always making it to the World Cup, even now that they are playing with the Asian teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, what Alain was saying, I agree, it's a big, huge handicap not to have Pogba and N'Golo Kanté in the midfield. Of course, Tchouaméni and Camavinga are special players, young players, but what Pogba and Kanté have done in Russia, dominating that part of the field during the whole World Cup, was something that we don't see very, very often at the national level. So it's a huge handicap. I still, of course, regard them as one of the biggest candidates for this World Cup. But again, I'm going back to the beginning where I was saying that Argentina can compete without problems 50-50 with anyone, even if Argentina has in the last 16, depending on how they both finish in the groups, I could fancy the Albiceleste. But for me, France have everything to go all the way, absolutely. But we will see what the draw departs for everyone. But they shouldn't have problems with this Australia. Edu, Alain, they're about to play their 5th straight World Cup finals, Australia, which is a success in itself. We use a lot the term road to Qatar, no, or road to Germany, whatever the World Cup is being held on. But some teams have like more than roads, are having like a small streets, because take Denmark, 10 qualifying games, okay? But Australia have had to endure a long and proper road, 20 World Cup qualifying matches, plus a playoff with Peru, which they won on penalty. So that's a proper road. If you compare Denmark, need to walk on a street, but Australia had a proper road to Qatar. The qualifying, anyway, it wasn't smooth at all. They include defeats to Saudi Arabia and Japan, twice actually against Japan. They draw points against China and against Oman. They are a very physical side, but I cannot see them at all repeating what they have done in 2006 when they advanced to the last 16, only to lose against Italy in the last minute because of a penalty by Totti. If you remember,
I remember.
And but this time I cannot see them do that again, as it happened in Russia. And I will use something that Alain said regarding Argentina match, that if Argentina managed to score first and quite quickly on the game, then maybe everything could unravel in favor of Scaloni's men. So in here, I believe the same. If the Shams team managed to score quite soon on the game, then Australia will need to hold not to get many goals in the back. So yes, I will go for Asian handicap -1 in the second half for France, which comes with odds of 2. So I expect goals here as well. So goals over 3 with odds of 2.16. And also France to win first half, France to win second half, which comes with odds of 1.80.
All right. My last question actually is, Alain, we are talking about the concerns in France with the midfield. Is there any concerns about the offensive part? Because we haven't seen Benzema for 2 months. Griezmann is playing a different role in Atletico de Madrid. He's not scoring. With France is another thing, and Mbappe, of course, he always scores, it doesn't matter. Is there any concern about the other 2 players, about Benzema's physical condition and about the new role of Griezmann in the last months?
Yes, I think in that for that reason, Deschamps called Giroud to have a point of fixation like Olivier Giroud for that type of game. But no doubt. Griezmann is in a very good moment. I think he's one of the player of Atletico Madrid perform better right now. We start to show some things about the Griezmann before he leave Madrid to Barcelona. And Deschamps known to use Griezmann. Griezmann is the point of is the key of the pressure, because he's the first player go to the pressure. A team can be defend with 4 players in the midfield line, and it's so important for the strategy about Deschamps. Deschamps doesn't ask mandatory goals for Griezmann. He asks him working for the team and have that influence in without the ball.
Even with France, with Lemblé, he scores a lot. Hopefully for France, he's not going to take any penalties, because there is a problem for Antoine Griezmann. Well, very nice. We've analyzed all these 4 games, deep analysis, and also with tips, so you can place your bets. And as always, to finish our video, let's listen to your safe bets, your preferred bets for this match day. Alain, tell me yours.
Yes, is Argentina win with over 1.5 goals on the game, odds 1.33.
And Leo, yours?
Mine is France to win at 1.27. That's my safe bet, Edu. Alan.
You know, one big rule that you are following right now in your safe bets is never bet on your team that you love, no? So stay away, at least you, Leo, from Argentina's game when you are placing your bet. Let's listen to your ACCA, Leo. Let's see.
So my ACCA will go this way. Argentina to win first half with odds of 1.62. France to win, and Mexico, Poland goals under 2.5. This 3 leaves me with a total of 3.39.
This is a treble for Leo, and your ACCA for Tuesday games, Alain?
Mexico, Poland, Sign X, odds 3. France, Australia, France winning 1.25, and Denmark, Tunis, Denmark winning 1.40 for an odds 5.70.
All right, this is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, don't forget to leave your tips, your comments, press the like as always, subscribe, and tell your friends that we are here to analyze all the World Cup games. Thank you, Alain, Leo. See you very soon.
Bye, guys. Pleasure.
Ciao, guys.